really did blow through the schedule.
All right, and we're
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Make it a quick one.
So Scott, if you could just say your name, come you're from, and just talk about a quick little soundbite of your company. Great.
Sure. My name is Scott Young. I am the SVP of Video Solutions for Set by Conversant. And Set by Conversant is a video technology solution that detects what consumers are watching and analyzes who's watching that video content.
Great. Let's jump right into it. So as we were talking about earlier, so you got all this online video content and it's growing exponentially. Talk about how marketers target online video advertising to match up with the right
Sure.
video content given every day.
Sure.
Okay?
Well, if I'm looking at the digital video space from a television lens, I'm thinking that in television, the main platform, the main vehicle to reach an audience is programming. And that makes advertisers very comfortable with what they're advertising in front of them. And it gives a sense of control. The main reason why advertisers obviously advertise on television is because it's a very effective means to reach an intended audience. But the reason that they're comfortable investing massive amounts of budget in television is because they are comfortable where it's running it. If you're looking at the digital video space, you're looking at thousands and thousands of videos that are uploaded to thousands and thousands of sites on a daily basis. So how do you really make sense of digital video based on programming and understand where your message is running? So what we have been focusing on since 2007 is building a vehicle that all day long just analyzes video content, analyzes 60 million videos each month, 13,000 videos in this particular minute. And in doing so, we are ripping videos apart frame by frame and analyzing unique attributes of an individual video stream so we could really get a sense for digital video based on programming at massive scale. Then we map that back to our Conversant's very large audience profile database. And then we can get an understanding of viewership and analyzing how content is a proxy for audience and how marketers can more effectively reach an audience based on what they're highly engaged with and what they're consuming at any given time and get comfortable with knowing this is the type of content that I'm advertising in front of to expose my audience.
So let's talk about what does that mean for the marketer as far as adapting? What are the old habits that they need to break and change?
Yeah, I think the old habits that need to break is looking at digital video in the same regard as you would look at display advertising, where the website is indicative of where you'll be running. I think in digital video, when you're looking at, you have to look at it in terms of the actual video you're advertising being the vehicle to expose your audience. So looking at video in terms of the programming and looking at understanding that I'm going to buy this particular video rather than a long list of websites. So getting a sense for what videos are out there that you can use as a vehicle to expose your audience.
So is it fair to say that the adaptation part of this is going against your natural instincts of previously understanding that digital is websites and now video is completely different? Talk just a little bit more about it. Spin it a little differently. It'll help with the edit. Go ahead.
Let's say that one more time.
So, is under the tent of adaptation that we have habits of looking at digital and looking at the website, and now video is a whole other game.
Yep. So in terms of adaptation, I think that advertisers need to adapt towards looking at video as video being the vehicle to expose their audience versus the old habits of looking at a URL and a long site list and looking at the type of content that you're exposing your audience and looking at it in terms of video instead of domain level information.
Great. Are we doing on time? Good? Let's jump into how your clients go. Let's spin this. It's similar to what we just talked about, but let's take a little different take on it.
Sure.
So you're seeing your clients change and adapt to the disruptive impact that big data is having on marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Just riff on that a little bit. You talked a little bit about it, but let's try it a different way.
Sure.
Okay? Go ahead.
So when I look at how advertisers are adapting to big data, I think that the way I've seen clients use it, especially throughout our platform, it breaks down into two specific areas. One is the effective and efficiency that you can, approach a media buy based on the use of big data. And then two is the way you use that to communicate with your audience in a personalized fashion. So if I'm looking at it from the efficiency perspective, clients that are leveraging big data to manage reach frequency across all their channels are getting the most out of their audience and understanding, the optimal exposure across all platforms, whether it be video, whether it be television, all the way throughout the funnel to see how many exposures does it take to actually influence a conversion. And then if I'm looking at it from a communication perspective, how am I leveraging those unique insights about an individual to personalize my message to them at all ends of the spectrum and all layers of the purchase funnel. And specifically in the video space, we're leveraging a lot of these insights to see how we can take that and provide an incrementality to a television buy. By evaluating what type of content a specific audience is engaged with digitally, we can understand their viewing behavior to a greater extent. So I'm understanding what type of content an audience is consuming where we're not actually reaching them on television. So how is content a proxy for incremental reach versus your television buy?
Perfect. Now let's pivot over to the mobile thing.
Sure.
So looking at what you see, when you talk to marketers, how do they need to adapt to what's happening in mobile video?
I think specifically in mobile video, obviously, mobile video is seeing explosive growth. It presents a lot of issues in terms of identifying a specific audience on a mobile device. There's some gates and barriers that you have to conquer. And also there's issues in attention span. Someone that's watching a video on their mobile device is potentially on the go and not as engaged as sitting down in that environment as they would be on their desktop. So I think we could take a lot of the learnings that we have of their behavior on desktop to then influence our investment in mobile video and to extend the reach past those data barriers that we actually have.
Perfect. Looking back, 2014, were there any examples of where you pivoted in your business to adapt? And it was like something that became an epiphany or something you learned about that you took that information and then adapted to your business that's positioned you better for 2015?
Yeah, I think a big focus in how we've adapted is really going deeper than just identifying content and really looking at audience viewing behavior in digital video, how we could better reach them, how we could reach them more effectively by the content they're consuming. And then also how we give advertisers the tools to change their creative messaging in a personalized fashion to reach those viewers and understand the individual's interest based on who they are and what they're watching at a given time.
We got all that? That was gold. We good?
Yeah.
We okay on time?
Yeah, you're
All right.
Anything you want to just sum up, any little pearl you want to put out there on this YouTube channel? Anything else about adaptation or anything you're seeing, you're excited about?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I'm most excited about, especially what we're working on, is how we're able to really explore demographics, specifically the millennial demographic, that is severely underexposed in television. Advertisers are having a really hard time reaching them, and how we can adapt to their changed behavior, and how we can find more effective means of reaching them, and especially based on the way that we are classifying and identifying the viewing behavior related to this specific demographic in digital video. I think it presents a really strong opportunity to drive incrementality over television and really connect with this demographic that is using all of the new mediums in an extremely heightened fashion, above and beyond anything that any other demographic is doing.
Home run, man.
Thanks.
That was awesome. We got it?
Yeah,
We good?
solid. It was
Good?
9